Hello there, my name is Kirk and I'm a cinematographer based in Melbourne, Australia, and these are 8 features that would make the Fujifilm X100V unstoppable. Now, I've had the X100V since 2021, so about 2 or so years now. I've posted tons of videos about it, so if you're curious on checking those out, here are all the types of videos I've posted on the camera. But today I wanted to share with you my thoughts after owning it for 2 years, and particularly around the features I wish were on the camera that I think would make it perfect. Now, a lot of these features can pretty much just be implemented in software, so Fujifilm, if you're listening, send me a free camera, or you can just update it and I'll be very, very happy. So feature number 1, I wish that this camera had savable presets. Now, what does that mean? Essentially, every time that you want to dial in a new preset, so for example, a new film emulation recipe, I have a few out there, from my black and white Oppenheimer one to my Kodachrome one and all these other Cinestill 800T. I think I've got a different preset in there as well. I wish you could go onto your computer, download a preset from Fuji X Weekly, and then save it into the camera like a file like you would do in Lightroom. That would make it so easy rather than having to dial in all the settings and then have to save them manually. This will make it really, really helpful and quicker to change settings and also try out some new ones. I'd love that. Feature number 2, I think that would be great in the Fujifilm X100V is that I wish it had more preset options. So right now you've only got 8 in the photo options, and I map it on the back of the camera just here. So I hit the dial and I can scroll through the presets. I wish there was more than 8. It's currently only 8, and it would be even better if you could organize them in folders. So for example, you could just hit the button, scroll down through into your black and white, for example, ones, or into your different ones that are attributed to different months like summer, winter, autumn, spring, or whatever you might need. I think it would be really great to have more options, because right now 8 is good, but I definitely have more than 8 of my favorite styles I like to shoot on with my X100V. Now, number 3, although the X100V is mainly a photo camera, I wish again those presets were able to be transferred across to video. You can't in fact change presets on the fly like you can in photo mode. You have to manually put in each of the presets in order to get something out of video. Now, you can just shoot in log and just do the color grading later, but I really liked when I shot a summer video back around about a year and a half ago, and the quality of the footage that just came out of that was exactly the look that I was looking for, and I didn't have to do any color grading afterwards. So that would be really great to have savable presets for video mode. So feature number 4 I wish we could have is profiles. Now, I've lent my camera to my good mate Marcel and Anthony, who used to shoot it in Vietnam as well as in Indonesia, I think they went to, and I was with them on some parts of the trip, but one of the trips I wasn't with them. But it'd be really, really good, especially if we are sharing the camera, that we could switch between different profiles. So for example, my mate Marcel could have a profile with all the presets and settings that he likes, including the mappable buttons, and I wish I could have a profile so I could just easily switch back and forth. Now, what you can do, you can use your computer to back up different profiles, or not profiles, just load different settings and keep it that way. But because of that, you would need to ultimately bring a laptop and everything, and I really like just having the one little camera, so it'd be great to have savable profiles on the camera itself. Now, feature or upgrade 5, I'll call this one. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the X100V itself, but it is to do with the app. The app is absolutely garbage, but it has so much potential. You can really mainly use it to either control the settings on the camera, or mainly how I liked to use it is transfer photos wirelessly. I would absolutely love to just bring my iPad and the Fujifilm and not have to bring any adapters at all, and just wirelessly transfer photos and videos across. But the app is really unreliable and honestly quite hard to use. You think it might just be because, you know, some people aren't great at technology, but honestly, it drops, it doesn't pair sometimes. I've only been able to use it once, and it's really frustrating when you can't use it, but it would be great if you could use it seamlessly, and hopefully they improve it real soon. Now, feature number 6 is potentially a hardware upgrade, but I think there could be some changes in software, and that is the EVF. Now, the EVF is really helpful, and I love the fact that you can switch between a mechanical optical EVF versus, wait, no, it's mechanical viewfinder and an electronic viewfinder. They're not the same thing, but I love how you can switch between the two of them. Although I find with the electronic viewfinder, there definitely is a contrast and a color shift. So when you're looking at the photos through the viewfinder versus on the back of the screen, and even compared to when you look at on your computer screen, there is a noticeable difference between those 3 screens there. Now, I don't really mind the differences in color on the back of the screen versus the computer, because it's not that different. But with the EVF, my exposure has definitely been completely different to what I expected it to be because of the way that the EVF displayed the photo after you took the snap. So that's one thing I would love to see improved. I think there could be some software updates that could improve that, but also the quality of the EVF is quite low resolution too compared to others I've seen. So it would be quite nice if that got upgraded. And feature number 7, I'm going to go with improved weather sealing. Now I've got a filter on top of my X100V right now along with a hood. Now technically this is now considered weather sealed, but I'm not completely convinced. I wish Fujifilm either did a better job of actually reiterating that how well this camera will hold up in terms of wet environments. I've taken it out in the rain and the humidity, I think you call it, and the humidity out before, particularly at the top North Mountains in Vietnam called Sapa, and I had no issues with it, but I was definitely hesitant in fully understanding whether or not this camera was properly weather resistant. So in order for this to be the true great street photography camera, especially for those nighttime wet rainy shoots, I would love the next camera to be, or at least the upgrade to the X100V, obviously not a software upgrade, but I would love it to actually have some really defined water resistance. So for example, I know with these iPhones that they're completely water resistant, even if I dunked it underwater. I'm not expecting that with the X100V to dunk it underwater, but I would really like it to be a little bit stronger at resisting all that terrible water and whatever other liquids you're throwing at it. And finally, the 8th feature I would really love Fujifilm to adopt and change completely, and this is a big one, and that is updating its menu system UI. Now, these are really evident across all the Fujifilm cameras. It's not something that's just for the X100V, which is why I guess I've put it at the end, but I've definitely been spoiled for choice with the UI on the back of the Blackmagic cameras. I have no idea why other camera companies don't try and invest more funds into actually improving their UI, but I really wish Fujifilm took some inspiration from the Blackmagic cameras. Now it is arguably a little bit better, personally that's what I would argue compared to some other manufacturers out there, but there have definitely been some times over the last 2 years where even though I have had that camera for the last 2 years, I have struggled to find where the settings are to change a certain something, so that would be good to see. Anyway, that's it from me. What features would you like to see on the Fujifilm X100V change for on this one, or potentially an upgrade? Let me know in the comment section below, and of course if you have any questions, feel free to ask too. But have a great day, stay safe, and of course, do take care.